Tonight we are live with Sean. Brian's in Dallas, so it's just gonna be the two of us. We're gonna be talking NFPA link, how to use it, how to navigate it, and he's gonna teach me how to use it because I have no idea. And then Brian and I will be better versed in it. We'll be able to answer questions better, and I'm excited. I'm excited to hear about it. I have it pulled up right here somewhere, and I'm probably gonna let Sean do most of the talking.
Yeah.
You're the one that knows most about it. Returning guest, thanks for joining us again.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I love coming on here. It's an awesome place to be.
Appreciate it so much. Everybody else filtering in, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, I appreciate it if you hit that button as well. And we got like nice and peace and quiet with Brian not here. No, I'm just kidding. We deeply miss Brian. He
Yeah.
is him and Sarah
It's
having a good
quieter.
time in Dallas. No Jeopardy music tonight. So what's new with you?
Quieter
Anything
than
fun and
last summer.
exciting?
Anything funny, exciting? Not a whole. I mean, just busy. Just doing a lot of stuff. We're busy at NFPA. Got a lot of good stuff happening. So, like I was just talking to you before, we're working on the CFPS certifications getting updated. So a lot of things around that happening. I'm doing some updating on that. Doing a lot of just putting content into Link, which we'll talk about, which is really fun. I love working on that stuff. So just trying to make stuff, do stuff to make everything easier for everybody.
Yeah,
Uh,
and hopefully I have good questions because I'm new to the link as well. So it's a web browser. It's a
so, yeah, it's a platform. It's our digital platform for access to our codes and standards, as well as a whole bunch of other tools and things to help utilize our codes and standards. It is a web-based platform, so it's not necessarily app-based. There are ways to very easily add it to your home or on your like your phone or your iPad or tablet or something like that, where it works just like an app, but it is web-based itself. And honestly, the story behind that is we couldn't have done an app-based program in Apple for an iPhone because they won't let you do e-readers. They require you to use their like the Apple e-reader. So because it ended up being codes and standards, like we went web-based with it, which honestly makes it easier to use everywhere, where you don't have to download an app to use it. If you're just like using a computer or something like that, you can get right then and there without
Okay,
having
that makes
to.
sense.
Yeah. But it has all of our codes and standards. I mean, it is subscription based, but the price is not high compared to what typically we would offer before the online fire code subscription. Now it's all web based. I want to say it's about $10 a month or so for single users, and then it goes down as you get bigger groups. So if like a whole company has it goes down. But just the ability to search all of our codes and standards and be able to see, we add enhanced content. So if you're familiar with like handbooks, a lot of that same information, the explanatory, the details about what the requirements mean, how to apply them, that's all in there. We have some really cool navigational features for helping people who are in maybe a new situation or want to learn about a new topic. We can go over we have direct navigation, which is like in a specific situation, like what are the requirements that apply in this, which I think is really fun. It's really fun to build those types of situations. We could talk about those when we get to that.
And you can kind of like search anything. You can like type in.
Yeah, you can search all of our codes and standards. You can search just on one.
Oh, that's
So
wicked cool.
if you were in 25 and you wanted to search electric fire pump, you could search that, or you could search electric fire pump in every single code and standard. I love like that search feature is great because especially if you're like, I wonder if there's anything on whatever, like electric ovens or something, that you don't even know what the standard is for. You can just search it and
Yeah,
see where.
it will. You'll be able to get to the code quick.
Yep.
You'll be able to get to the code quick. What's up, everybody? Joining Big Country, Joe, Tommy, Chad, Joe again. Good evening, Dope and Tape fam. Welcome back, Sean. What's up, fellas? Bobby, I'm gonna
Thanks.
need you to break into Brian story with the wind direction and speed and the make and the model of the vehicle in the story or what he ate. Oh, I love it. Do you know how to add it as a favorite in my Safari app, but stays logged in? I sign in and add the website as a bookmark, but every time I click on it, I have to sign in every time. You probably can save your sign-in credentials via through your phone and just maybe just click.
Yeah, yeah.
It's probably
The other thing too is I was gonna share the links to. So we just put out 2 videos, literally like last week, because I had this conversation with so many people when I was at AFSA. They were like, "How do I add it on my home screen?" So we made a video. If you go to NFPA link, we have a YouTube channel, NFPA link. If you go in there, like the most recent 2 videos, I think there was one ahead of those that was added. There's one how to install it as on your iPhone and how to do it on your Android, and
damn.
it's
Look at you
oh,
guys go. 1.25 subscribers.
yeah.
You guys
We've
are
been
cranking.
that that channel has been around for about just over a year, I think. And I mean, the videos on there are good. So everybody in our technical services group, we all develop videos for that, and it's mostly like questions that we get, and then we kind of navigate through link to answer a lot of code questions. So if you
I
guys
just,
want to follow, it is a nice way to
I just subscribed for sure.
get introduced to new codes and standards, or just like we talk about everything. I did a series of videos that are coming out that you'll see all about like NFPA 13D, which is residential sprinkler systems.
Hey, it looks good. You guys posting a lot too. Look at you go. Why am I just finding out about this?
It's relatively new. I mean, it's only been a year. I think that we've been doing a good. So we handle the content development, and then it goes off to another team. They do the editing and post everything. So
Oh,
I think they
okay.
do one a week, I want to say. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you're doing three,
we might be doing
like
3.
three at a time or something. Yeah, no, it looks good. And the just scrolling through, it also looks good. They're doing a good. They're doing good. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, well, we'll dig into that later.
Those are fun. Yeah, I definitely I recommend those, especially if you're someone who wants to just like learn about new topics. We post about electrical, building life safety, so like life safety code, things like that. We
You guys
post
could
about.
go live on this account from like the expo,
We could.
if you wanted to. We could talk about that too.
Yeah.
All right, so I have the NFPA. I have link.nfpa.org pulled up right here, but I mean, my navigating skills probably aren't as good as yours. So maybe
You want me to go and share my screen? We
you want
can
to
go
show
through.
us? Yeah.
Yeah. So just let's see.
Am I allowing you?
You have disabled my screen share.
Let me see. All participants can screen share. Boom.
There we go. Screen 2.
Let's see.
All right. Are
What
we
up?
good?
What up, Wayne? We are. I'm good on my screen. Let me see how they see. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
seeing us pretty good too. Let me stick the logo over here.
Sweet. Yeah. So this is my dashboard. I just want to preface real quick. I am in an author mode. It's not very different. I was trying to switch my profiles and I could not switch. So like you wouldn't have this. I use this to build some of our stuff in there. But I can kind of go through what this is. So it's basically this is my home screen here, and you've got access, at its crux, what it is access to all of our codes and standards, all 300 plus codes and standards, at least the last 5 editions, and we're continuously adding stuff back, like the backlog. So eventually, we want to have absolutely everything loaded into here. But I will show you. I mean, you guys talk about 25 so much, so
That's just
Brian,
that's my
Brian,
counterpart. That's everyone's missing Brian tonight and his blabbering, but he likes to blabber about that one because he's obsessed with inspection and testing.
I was trying to, what's the section? 5.
he
What
always
were we?
he always references them.
Well, because he
Uh,
was talking about float
I
switches.
take screen recording videos of him when he's reading these numbers, and they're the funniest videos. Oh
Oh, there
man.
we go. Chapter 13. Yeah. So I want to get to that.
Oh
You
yeah.
asked
Okay.
me about that flow switch test because you were saying, oh, the automated, you're saying, oh, it says you only
Everybody's
have
talking about this.
flow water every 3 years. And I was like, no, 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 no.
No,
It
no,
never.
no.
Um, yeah. So this was that's this section here, 13 237, water flow alarm devices. Remind inspection.
During testing, yeah, it was a special code made for the new flow switch that's out,
5, 13.
right?
Sorry. Yeah.
No, you do. What up, fire sprinkler guy? Daryl, Eric. Yep, no Brian tonight. Brian is in Dallas working. Maybe he's enjoying himself. I think he's working slash enjoying himself.
Come on, bring me
He's
to
down there
church.
for work, but I've seen Sarah, so they're like together in Dallas, having a great time. Maybe he's watching. Yo, Brian, leave us a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in.
Oh,
Appreciate it. Thanks for
is
saying
Brian
hi.
watching right now?
I don't know. Maybe he's not
Oh,
saying anything. Chandler, what up? We still got
so
a couple hanging on Twitch. As long as there's a couple there, we'll keep streaming on Twitch.
yeah, so this was the section here. Vane type, paddle type, pressure, water flow devices. Let's see. Opening the inspector test connection or by using automated test feature. Um, Except as permitted here, testing of vane type water flow alarm devices needs to be accomplished by the flow of water, unless you have that automated feature. Now is all stuff added. But then it's saying if you have and that's basically I want to say, I don't know what else they have. I think it's Potter has the one that automatically will be able to test itself. But then even if you are just circulating water, you would still need to actually flow water every 3 years. That's what that requirement's saying.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is what so looking at our codes
That's
here,
it.
like, so I'm in chapter 13 right now of NFPA 25. It looks fairly similar. There's a lot to unpack here, right? We've got enhanced content, and that's where you're going to have explanatory material on different sections about different requirements here. If you're familiar with our handbooks, a lot of this stuff looks similar, but it's different. It also, we can continuously update all of this, and I'm on the team of people that we go through here and update information. So if I went in and I wanted to add something, I can go ahead and add it. If you had a handbook that's tested or that's printed one point in time, we can never really go update it. This we can constantly update all that information. So that's one huge advantage here is having access to all this enhanced content that we can continuously
And
update.
where did you search? How did you start? How did you get here? You were just. Where's like the All right, let's search for something. Um. Good
Yeah,
night,
what do you
bro.
want?
Love you. Uh, um. Let's search for like I don't know, something random. End of the line bracing. Should be in 13.
Yeah, do you want me just to, so this is our search feature here. Do you want me just to search 13?
Yeah. Show us what
I
you
don't know
got.
if
Show us what you got, dog.
oh,
What's up, George?
mm, oh, I should add bracing in there. Nothing.
Boom. Oh, so it's probably be under bracing.
Yeah, I mean it would be was that
Boom. All right. You just go right to bracing. So that's
yeah, so it would,
even that is great.
well, that would just get you into know like, okay,
Bracing.
at least I'm in chapter 18 if we're talking seismic.
Boom. Sway bracing. Right.
Yeah, and then you could get right in
This is something that only 25% of the trade is doing for some reason.
what seismic.
Yeah. How do people get away with not doing it?
I think there's always been a thing where like, well, it depends where you are. If you're not necessarily if
Yeah.
the
They're like,
building's
oh,
not,
well, there's not earthquakes here. What?
yeah, except it's just I think that from what I've heard, there is definitely a shift now into requiring it everywhere.
Brace it all. All
I don't know
right.
if there was a change in the
Let's search for
seismic.
something else. Anybody else want to search for something? Give us something to search. Like, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, just the search feature alone, I love. And even just the navigation in general, just being able to look at the requirements in this fashion and being able to see, like the table of contents and stuff.
it looks clean.
But okay, so this is the big thing that I think, especially a lot of people who aren't in in the codes and standards world, but want to learn about some of the requirements is we have this direct navigation, which we're continuously building stuff for this, but this is where you can kind of search in a specific situation to figure out code requirements. So, for example, if I have a system and I'm talking about a sprinkler system, then it pops up some different situations I have. Like say I'm working on a fire department connection.
Huh.
Now I can see some of the requirements outlined, but then you can also scroll down. Like, say I wanted to look at the ball drip requirements here. So what's my automatic drip valve requirements? Click right in there. We've got some explanatory material, but
Must be
then it'll
installed
bring you,
horizontal.
then just brings you right into the requirement in chapter 13 and 14.
That's wicked cool.
So those we're constantly building.
How many more
Uh,
of those pictures you got?
we've got
Dude,
a lot. These are
sprinkler
just
guys
the ones.
love pictures, bro.
Everyone loves pictures. Like we got one here for just a drive valve setup. And again, it doesn't have every single specific requirement, but what is it like?
It's pretty close.
Air pressure requirements, right?
Man,
So here's going to bring in the discussion about the differences between what NFPA 13 requires for your minimum pressure, and then what NFPA 72 requires if you're monitoring it. What pressures do you need to be monitoring for? Because they are actually slightly different.
huh.
So this is an explanation of that, and then it brings you into those requirements. So like maybe you're familiar with just the 13 requirements, but you can also go ahead and look in NFPA 72, see the requirements for when you have to have the off normal signals be sent, and then you can even just go look in the
Wow.
72, see where all the requirements are.
This is great.
So then this would, you're in chapter 17 and 72, which is all my initiating device stuff. Here's my requirements for dry pipe. And then you can even look at the explanatory material. Like it's really good for people who, the direct navigation we create for someone who's like, all right, I know there's requirements about this thing, but like what are the specific requirements? Like we've started like focusing on fire pump. You'll see one here is just on inspection and testing of a fire pump. It's talking about all the requirements for
Ooh,
control valves, the gauges, the suction line, the no flow, annual flow, all the flow test requirements, all that there. And then obviously the picture, because that's how a lot of people, that's the situation people are seeing. They're seeing the fire pump and they're trying to figure out what things they need to test.
that's great. I think a lot of guys will use that.
I also have one I think that you guys would like is let's
This is
see.
a yeah. This is available, Daryl.
Yeah,
Daryl's asking, is this available for everyone?
yes. Well, it's not, I mean, it's not free. You have to purchase a subscription for it. But if you go to NFPA or link.nfpa.org, you can sign up for a subscription. You can do a 2-week trial for free. No credit cards or anything required if you want to just try it. But here's the one you guys are always asking about 241. We have a couple situations here.
Yeah, let's go.
Granted, this is on the 2021 edition or 2018 edition, whatever the last one is. I know they like skipped a cycle on this one, but
I gotta
like,
read up on this one.
so like looking for, let's see, access for firefighting. What are my access for firefighting requirements? These are all the 2022 editions. Uh,
FPP.
so if requirements for my fire prevention program, what are my access roadway requirements? And I'll take you right into 241, tell you all the requirements out of there. And then you can even go in and look at those requirements more. So that, again, this is like a really good learning tool for people who are just like, even just like get in there and see what's in there. And
It really is. This is amazing.
yeah, and these we are constantly adding.
I'm gonna click through all these things.
The one that I think it hasn't been loaded in yet, but we're building two pretty significantly sized situations on. The one that I've been working on is fire alarm signaling systems.
Aircraft hangar. Yeah, you guys are covering the stuff that like people don't see a lot.
Yeah, and that's the hope, is that even if it's someone who's like been doing this a long time, but maybe they're like, all right, I've got to do this aircraft hangar, which I haven't done. They can just go in there and brush up on some of the requirements. This is more on like the NFPA 409 requirements for design for fire protection systems, but again, a good introduction to all the requirements that are in there.
Wicked
Just like
cool.
going over some of the big ones. Yeah, this I like. I've built out the ones for the fire alarm and signaling system into the notification appliances, but you guys don't work too much into that stuff, but
We
you
have
could even,
we have a lot of guys that do. I don't.
yeah. So like visual notification, one that I've did here. So all these are, icon based, but like inspection, testing, and maintenance. Scroll right down here, number 8. You got say, all right, what's my testing requirements? And then here it outlines all my testing requirements, how often I have to do it, and then it even gives you the link to go in and look at the requirements.
Wow.
So that's the kind of stuff we've been.
Yeah, so this is definitely something that we got to get the companies to be buying and providing to the guys, right? So is that's I'm sure there's some kind of subscription like that.
Yeah, we do enterprise level subscriptions where a company will buy a certain number of seats, and obviously the price goes down per person as you have more people. So like a company would say, hey, I've got 10 guys I want to get subscriptions for, and then they can manage all of that. Then where that starts it starts being helpful is, for example, say I'm in NFPA 13 and I've got a requirement, like number of supplies, and I want to make sure that people don't forget about this requirement, or I have something important that I want to say, like, like don't forget we only need one, right? Or like don't forget this requirement. You can create a bookmark. You can create collections
Mm,
of bookmarks, and then you can share them. So like I could put a bookmark here. So now I have a bookmark here that I can write whatever requirements in there,
made you look.
add it to specific collections.
That's
So
cool.
like,
And then so the whole team can see
yeah.
this one's got a tag on it. That's pretty
And
cool.
like you could build collect, like the way I use collections a lot is when I'm working on projects. You'll see a lot of mine are just like named projects.
Oh, the
One that I
collection. Oh, it has its own. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so I
pretty
was working
cool.
on something where I was looking at all the sprinkler exemptions in NFPA 101 for closets. So I put a bookmark for all of them so I can go through and look at, okay, so existing board and care, it's I don't need sprinklers in closets not exceeding 24 square feet and bathrooms not exceeding 55 square feet. So I have them all in one spot. Um, which is helpful. So when you have a group of people and you're all working on one project together, you can have different.
Oh, okay, so another code we talk. That's wicked cool. With the bookmarks, I'm gonna go bookmark a couple random codes, and I'm just gonna put made you look, and then Brian's gonna go and be like, what is this? It's gonna confuse the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So how about pipe? So hydro testing.
Yeah.
So I go and pipe 20 heads on a floor that I can't isolate the rest of the system. So I know I don't have to hydro it, but a lot of people will still try to make you hydro it. But since I can't, so we'll be
That's
talking about hydro testing.
You're 13 and chapter 30 because that's existing modification.
Boom. Okay.
Um, and then I can see the requirement in my head. It's
'Cause this happens to me a lot where they're like, no, you have to hydro it, and I'm like, 3/4 of this floor is active
yeah.
patient rooms. I didn't touch all of this. I'm not hydroing it.
So I can, if I hit the search feature while I'm in a chapter, it'll just search that chapter.
Oh, that's cool. Boom.
So 3812.
Oh, and then it just takes you right there.
Yeah, so 38.1 is all on testing. Modification to systems require the hydro test to be at
Oh, so right there is what I'm looking for. Where modification is made to an existing system affecting more than 20 sprinkler heads, the new portion shall be isolated and tested, not more. So the
but
new
the next
portion.
look at the next section.
M-
Modifications that cannot be isolated shall
So,
require testing at system working pressure.
boom. So that's the one that yes, I like that. Hold that
Yeah,
right.
so that's in there.
Hold that one right there. Boom.
Bookmark that one.
30.8.1.2. Yeah, we talk about that one a lot. That's something I do so much is I go on a pipe literally like 20 heads or 10 heads and they're like, "Oh, did you test it?" I'm like, "Well, we'll test it at the end of the day when we turn it on."
Yeah, and
And then they're like, "No, no, you got to do a 200-pound test." And I'm like, "No, no, not necessarily, but that's great now that I can pull this up. Oh, wow, it gets bigger."
well, this is all explanatory material on that.
Wow.
So it's right here, like where some modifications are made and the piping cannot be isolated, such as relocated drops. 13 provides some flexibility.
I love that. This is amazing. Anybody got any codes you want to look up? What do we got? We got any questions? Let's get some questions.
Yeah. I
Thanks for
also
joining us.
some cool stuff. I'm trying to find a change in here, but actually, let's say this one. All right. Give me change. So the other cool thing is we have change indicators in here. So if you're moving to a new edition and you want to know what's changed, okay, give me something that really changed. Okay, here we go. So like this section, we've got change indicators. Delta means that there was a change on the section, and N means it's a new section. And if you see a dot there, that means there was a deleted section. So if you were in a printed code book, you would just see that, right? But here we have the ability. So like I want to pull this section up, it's got to change. I see that there's highlighted stuff. I can go here, I can hit view changes, and it pulls up the section from the last edition. So I can see the things that have changed.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
This one's a little funky because it's a list, and I don't know why it's showing up like that. Let me see.
View changes.
Yeah, I don't know why that list is showing up weird. Here's a section that's changed.
It's new to me, so it looks normal.
Yeah. So you can see here they added the in accordance with 623, 6231. Right? That wasn't in
Huh.
the previous version.
It's nifty. Must take a lot of work.
Well, this this is all in line with when we do our standards development process. We do it all in a program we call it Terra, and then it exports everything as HTML, and we track all the changes. So a lot of this stuff we're able to. There would be no way to have somebody every time we update it to like go through and find all these changes. It all gets tracked in our standards development process, and we're able
Okay.
to transfer it over. But it's not shown in this one. But what I have the ability to do is as a content developer is I can go in and I can add explanatory material on the change. And I can say, here's the reason why it changed, or we can pull some of the committee statement and in there and say, like, here's the reason why they changed that section. So you'll have a lot more detail, especially on like the bigger changes on why they happen. So
Bobby sent us an email, so we had to change it. I stepped away for a minute, so I apologize if someone asked already, but can you reference past editions?
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
so if I'm in NFPA 13 right here, I'm in the 2022 edition. I just hit change edition. I can go back all the way to 2010. Right now,
Let's
we're
go.
continuously doing a
That's what.
back.
What do you got, Tom?
Uh,
You got a question, Tom? What do you got? You got one right on top of your head you want to ask? We'll search it now in the search bar. This thing is pretty cool. This thing is pretty cool. Daryl says I did a deluge airplane hangar a while back. Yeah, those are cool. You don't. Some people will go their whole career without, getting to mess with airplane stuff. Took me 14 years to get to do a helipad and work with some foam. So doing a hangar is pretty cool, Daryl, huh?
yeah, another thing I want to show. How do I move? There we go. I want to show everybody that our codes and standards are free for everybody to access. Because I've heard it mentioned a few times on this podcast, and I don't know if anyone's like definitively shown people how to do this, but all of our codes and standards are free to anybody who wants to see them. You just go to, we call it like our .org or our so like let's say nfpa.org/13. That takes you to the doc info page is what we call it, but it's just the website for that standard. And if you didn't have an NFPA link subscription, you can still view these for free. But like I could click there and view it at NFPA link, or you can scroll down, you can select which edition you want, and you hit the free access button. So you'll notice it loads in link, but it lacks, all of the additional features that you would get if you were a link subscriber. So you can just go in and literally look at this thing's always in my way. It's just kind of like a book reader. But for the people who are in a pinch and maybe you don't use the codes and standards all the time, you want to look at a
Oh,
requirement, you can still go in and read it. It's not extremely easy.
but it's there and it's free.
But it is all free. All of our codes and standards are free. They have been free for the past, I want to say like before I started working. So it's, what, at least 7 years, have all been free. I mean, you can still kind of navigate a little bit easier than it used to be. You can go in, at least go chapter by chapter and go subsections. But again, it lacks a lot of you don't get the enhanced content. You don't get the direct navigation. You don't get the bookmark or any of that stuff, but it is completely free.
That's cool. That's awesome. You guys did that.
And it's tough on mobile. I don't know how great it is on mobile, but I don't know if I don't think it's. I mean, you can like zoom in and stuff. And
Yeah, I
um,
mean, yeah,
for those people who want to just get in and look at that stuff,
there
I
it
want to
is.
be unknown because a lot of people think you have to buy the book. And although, I mean, the only reason we at NFPA, we're a nonprofit, but we're self-funded. So we need to generate a profit in order to drive our mission, which is codes and standards development. But again, our more major mission is to reduce death from fire and electrical and other related hazards. So like we're just trying to keep, it takes people to do that. So we have to support the association to be able to then support our mission. So that's why we sell codes and standards. That's why we create these products. But we are a member-based association, so we're doing a lot of things for our members. Creating a link and all that stuff. That's what we do.
Yeah, you guys are doing great, and and ten bucks a month is, that's cheap to have all this and be able to search it as fast as you were in all these books, and even if you didn't, you still can get the free.
Yeah, it's all free. And we also, like, before we had Link, we had NFCSS, which is National Fire Code Subscription Service. That was a lot more. That was like $1,500 a year to get access to all of our codes and standards.
Oh wow,
So this is significantly cheaper,
that's
and you
awesome.
get way more. All of the usability of this, which is good.
What's Daryl saying? Sprinkler hose valves, hoses should be eliminated. Can you show me this Pacific code? Daryl, the Pacific is an ocean, but we'll show you the specific one.
That's so NFPA 14 and 13 are gonna, well, 13 tells you how to do it if you need them in a combined system. 14 is gonna tell you how to do a class, what is it, class one system, which is the hose cabinets. You can still find the requirements, but you're not gonna find it required in like uh fire codes and things like that, because OSHA said if you have them, you now have to train everybody in the building how to use them. So that's what, and everyone was like, well, they're not required. So everyone just pulls them out. So that's
Oh,
what you might be referring to, is that people are just also, the thing is, if you have the hoses, you need to maintain the hoses, and the fire department is not going to use your hoses anyways. So they just pull them out and maybe just leave the hose connection or just go to a class 2. Or in most cases, it's probably was a class 3, which means it's got an 1.5 inch and a 2 inch or 2.5 inch hose connection, and they'll just leave that, but just no hose.
okay. So it was more the OSHA requirement to train everybody that kind of got them all taken off, because that's something you see. You don't see those cabinets that had all those hoses used to hang in them. They're
Yeah,
all
they'll
gone
just pull
now.
them out, maybe put an extinguisher in there, and then just leave the hose connection, because that's all the fire department brings their own hoses anyways,
If they
right?
carry that hose all the way up the stairs, they're definitely using it.
Yeah, they're not gonna because there's no way to know how often that owner tested that hose, and they're literally relying on that hose for
Relying
their
on it.
life,
Exactly.
so
Get
they're
rid of
not
that
gonna
thing.
just
Makes sense.
on a whim. And that's why you're seeing them all come out. And a lot of the requirements, I want to say, fire code, what was it? Or I can only speak to one. NFPA 101 had a requirement that you needed them on stages, and they took that requirement out. They just said if the AHJ wants them, you can put them there, but they're not required.
That was a really good question, Daryl. That was a really good question. Any other questions? Any other questions? Yeah, so this is I like this. We're gonna start talking about this a lot more.
Yeah. And like certainly just like get in there to answer questions. The other thing too I want to show, which is what we've started doing, and I got this one spot, NFPA 10. We were actually just talking about portable extinguishers, so that is a good segue here. But we have been working on adding into enhanced content videos that go over main requirements. So, for example, if you're looking at installation heights, we've got we're starting to embed videos. This one's like a 2 minute quick hit video
Oh, that's
on
cool.
fire extinguisher installation height requirements. I'm trying to get you a spot there.
Oh, yeah, it's built
Portable.
right
Which
into
just kind of goes
there.
over. I don't know if I'm sharing my sound, so I'm not going to bother sharing the video, but that's another good thing to look forward to. Because, and again, you can't put that in a printed handbook, right? We can start doing all these new multimedia things, which is really cool.
That is so cool. Just published on the 6th.
Yeah, that video. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were just talking about it in
That's
one of our
cool.
meetings. So we've got a couple. We did a couple of them. I think I did. We did one for 13, which should be in there eventually. I would love to start putting like how to test requirements in 25 so you can actually see how to do a main drain test. You know, when you look at that requirement, it's like, all right, what does it look like? You know, how do I actually do one?
Yeah, for
Just to
real.
start seeing.
This is revolutionary for the trade and for people who that didn't have good teachers or didn't have school. Some people don't have school. They don't even have school. They don't ever had a schooling, and then they got a guy that doesn't want to teach them, and they're just trying to fight their way through. So this is great.
Yeah.
This would be a great tool.
Yeah. Um, Sure. Any other questions on stuff? Another thing too, I want to bring up since I'm gonna go outside a week real quick too. Um,
I might
if you
do a
guys
Brian story to get the viewers up.
uh if you guys are NFPA members, you can ask technical questions. That's a member benefit that we offer.
Okay.
You just want to make that known. Like if you're in the same spot, nfpa.org/13 or /25 for whatever document that you want to go for.
Yep.
If you hit this ask a technical question, I think that might only show up if you actually I might not be logged in. So that's gonna no, yeah, I'm not logged in. So you'll see that. And you can submit a technical question if you are an NFPA member. So that's one thing that's a member benefit that we have if you're a paid member of NFPA.
That's cool. Is
Yeah,
that goes directly to your team, directly to you?
that goes directly to, so in our standards development group, which is a part of engineering, but not the group that I'm in. So the people that are actually responsible for running the committees for developing the codes and standards, it goes right to them. And they're the ones that answer those questions. So it would not come to me. But
Awesome.
I've answered those questions. I do help sometimes answer those questions. Those are the ones where it's like, hey, what's this section mean? Or like, this seems kind of vague to me. Can you elaborate on it?
Right.
Those kind of questions you can send right in and get those responses.
No, that's awesome. So I get a lot of questions, and Brian does too. Sometimes I got to outsource to get the answers, but now I think that now with this I won't have to.
Yeah, it is nice too. It sounds like you work in a lot of spaces where people will be like, ask questions about kind of things that you don't necessarily know where they are. So that the search feature to be able to look at all different codes and standards is awesome for that kind of stuff.
Right.
Um,
A lot of people probably don't know they have access to this. A lot of people think you have to have that book. Like you have to have the hard copy book, you know. This will be a good video we can share. We'll be able to share this video now and try to drive a lot of people to NFPA link.
Yeah, the good thing too is like you actually get access to the new edition of the standard before it even gets printed and sent out.
So what was I using
You were
before?
using NFCSS, National Fire Code Subscription Service. I think your union had access to that.
Yeah, and it says it's just NFPA codesonline.nfpa.org.
Yeah, that's our National Fire Code Subscription
Oh, okay.
Service.
And you know, there's a little searching that you could do in there, and
Yeah, but it's not.
this looks much better.
Yeah, that this search feature is good, and we're constantly increasing the power of the search too. Because as the search gets better, you'll be able to search those
We might be
terms.
able to make that happen, Tommy. Next open tape giveaway, a free subscription to NFPA link. Might be able to make that happen, Tom.
Maybe, yeah.
I could like add somebody to my account, no? I could do that, right, Sean?
You guys have 5 seats, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we could. That's a good one, Tom. Boom. Have you give you guys access.
Yeah. So the other thing too is like I'm on my homepage. You can add right now. I just have a collection of standards on here, but you can add. You can see all of our publications. We also have
Okay.
some in multiple languages. Like we've got NFPA 1 in Spanish.
Huh.
Um, all of our codes and standards here, and then you can add them to your like. Say I wanted to add 13. I want to add it to my favorites. I think NFP 13 is already in my favorites, so I can't add it. But let's see. Okay, doesn't want to add it to my favorites.
Boom. But we get it. That's so the ones that you use the most, you put right in your favorites, and then they're there.
Yeah,
And then you got your bookmarks right there for the ones that you frequently asked. That's pretty cool.
and oh, the other thing too. So you see this little button here for I. These are all set for offline access.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
So like it's stored for offline. So even if I disconnected my computer from the internet, I could still go to link.nfpa.org and I can still see all of NFPA 13. As
Wow,
long
that's
as
wicked cool.
so yeah, what it does is it saves it locally on your computer. So you can do the same thing on your phone too. So you can go in on your phone, add whatever standards you want in offline mode, and then even if you didn't have service, you could still have access to them.
Wow. How the heck did you think of that? That's a good
What?
one. That's a good
How
one.
did we?
How did you think of
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Well, so that didn't come out right when Link was launched about 2 years ago. We didn't have that feature yet, but it was one thing that we really wanted to do because a lot of people are working on job sites that don't necessarily have good service. They want to be able to.
Yeah, the one I just started is in a basement. I can't take phone calls. I can't. It's a dead zone.
Yeah, I use it a lot when I'm on the plane and I gotta do work. I'll
Oh
save
yeah,
stuff offline and then just use the standard when
that's
I'm doing
good.
work on
I know you have
NFPA.
pictures, but does it have videos too? Yeah, he was showing videos, Daryl, working their way in multimedia.
Yeah,
Give us another video.
I that might be our only video right now.
But he
That's
also was telling us about the NFPA Link YouTube page, which you can go subscribe to.
yeah, NFPA link the YouTube channel.
There's a lot
We
of cool
got
videos
some.
on there. I was just looking. I'm gonna watch some.
They're all, I would say they are all mostly just educational in nature about codes and standards and about requirements. But we just do it with Link. So you learn how to use Link, but you also can learn new stuff,
Okay.
which I think is really helpful.
Yeah, that is really cool. So, what do you guys got going on? Excited for June? A lot of planning, a lot of work going into that.
Yeah, so that's one of my jobs at let me stop. I'll stop sharing for now. If we get more questions, I can.
Boom.
So yeah, one of my jobs is to serve as the technical lead for, technical content on our conference and expo. So we just finished up our we get our call for proposals for submitting educational sessions. That all closes mid to end September. And then we go through all of the sessions and decide what educational sessions we're having. And that was all we do that all before the end of or before Thanksgiving. So that's been out. We've got, you know, over 100 educational sessions that'll be happening at CNE. And then we've got a couple different annex tracks that we're going to run for free for anybody who goes to the expo, which is free. So if you want to come down to Orlando, if you're in the Orlando area, we'll have educational sessions focusing on natural disaster recovery and response, as well as a firefighter track of educational sessions. So anybody who just wants to come to the expo, which it's free you just have to, sign up. If you go in the expo, we have a bunch of educational sessions open for that too.
You can come on to the expo for free.
Yeah.
That's in Orlando in June. You guys
Yep.
hear that? It's free. It's free to come on the expo. So when you pay, that's to get like the 100 sessions you were talking about. If someone
Yeah.
were to
The
pay, if you want.
conference, yeah, the conference is what costs money. But the expo, you just have to pay. Yeah. I think you just have to sign up. Um, and
That's awesome. Okay, that's good to know. Maybe we'll see a bunch of people there. A bunch more people than we normally would.
yeah, you guys gonna be there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I know we're working on setting up a spot for like social media and like podcasting stuff. So hopefully we'll
Oh,
have
nice. Yeah, give me the Wi-Fi code.
we'll get you the Wi-Fi code.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Matt Bass will be presenting.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So that's something I'm gonna do. My first trip to NFPA, super overwhelming. My first show, first time videotaping, and so an AFSA a little bit better. But it's still just so. I got to sit down in some of them sessions. I got to just take the time to sit in a couple sessions for myself because I still
There's a
haven't.
lot. And this is so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is the conference and expo. Thursday is what we call our technical session. So every year we have a technical session, which is part of our standards development process. Basically, before the standard gets published, that's kind of the last chance someone has to submit a change, and then it gets voted on by the members of NFPA. It's really fun to go to if you want and to see kind of like what like it's like the last stand for like trying to get a change in, right? So a lot of people are debating back and forth, but it's NFPA 13 and NFPA 72 are both going to be on the floor this year. So we're pretty heavy on the NFPA 13 and 72 like fire protection system educational sessions as well. So that'll be fun. But you
That
guys should see for Thursday. It's always a good. I mean, it's fun to see people like to get an idea for like what the process is like, and everybody talking about the different changes.
yeah, well, yeah. I'm super. These shows are it's so exciting. You don't realize how exciting it is until you're actually there. And if you're passionate about the industry, you definitely should go. And it's free to get in
Yeah.
the expo. That is even more of a definite. Tommy says, dope and tape with their own display. I'd pay $5 for a Chad autographed 8x10. Chad, you don't want an autographed photo of me, Tommy? You're gonna pick Chad? Damn, display. What do you mean, like our own booth? So Brian and I were talking about that.
Oh, getting a booth.
Getting a booth, but we might be a couple years away from that. We
I
don't know how that would work, but we
Chris
could.
Chris Logan did that a couple years ago at CNE, and then he realized that he can just get a press pass. So then he's just been doing that.
Yeah, and then because then you kind of want the you want the person's booth behind.
Yeah.
But we seen at the last convention at AFSA, they Ferguson had the booth where it was just like a chill booth. They just had like seating and high top tables, and it was like the only booth that was like just like a chill area. I was like, that's cool. Like I'm gonna do that. But then we might be like stuck there, so I
Yeah,
don't know.
you have to be out and about,
I
like
want to be out
looking.
and about and looking at the new stuff and talking about the new stuff, right?
Yeah,
Promoting all the new
and
stuff.
going to some ed sessions.
Brian in the tight jeans is 10. I'm on a budget. I don't think Brian's gonna wear those jeans anymore. You guys are eating them up too much. Oh shit. Oh yeah. So yes, wicked excited for Orlando in June. I don't know if we completely like locked it down yet, but we're definitely going. We'll be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good year. Got a lot of good stuff
Fly
happening.
down. What is Chad? Chad's coming, right? You coming, Chad? Who else is in Florida that will go down? Tommy, you gonna take the trip down? Daryl might be a little too far. I don't know if they'll let you in, Daryl. We're up there in Quebec or wherever you're at. Yeah, so that's it. If you guys have any questions about the link, you could reach out to me. You could reach out to Sean. He
Yeah.
is on Instagram, right? Your
Yeah.
Instagram name is just your name.
FPLS.
Let me see.
Oh, I should know
Hold
this, right?
on.
FPLS or FPL Safety SJM.
FPL Safety underscore SJM. Yes, you can find him on Instagram. If you got any questions, you can ask me questions. If you want to, like he said, if you wanted to try the link, you could try the link for 2 weeks for free. You don't even have to put your credit card in.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
no.
and there is free access as long you might have to do a couple extra clicks, but it's free access. And I want to. My daughter lives in Orlando. Oh, definitely do it, Tommy. Let's do it. What's the date? That's another great question we should talk about. What is the date?
Oh, for CNE?
Yeah,
17th through the 21st.
17th through the
June
21st.
17th through the 21st.
June 17th.
Let me double check that because I'm just
Yep.
writing. It's June. Yeah, 17th. Well, 17th through the 20th, not 21st.
17th
So
through the 20th. Okay, well, we'll definitely be there for that. That is,
general session. I highly recommend coming for Monday. General session starts at 1 o'clock, goes to like 3-ish, and then expo floor opens. There's educational sessions on Monday morning as well, but highly recommend if you're coming to conference and expo to try to get the general session because it's
Monday
always
morning. I was looking for my pen that whole time. You said Monday the 17th when you want to be there? Be there at B Square?
yeah. That's the opening. Yeah, that'll be the opening of the everything opens up that day. Educational sessions from 8 to 12, and then general session will be from 1 to 3, I believe, and then expo floor is open from like 3 to 7.
Okay. Oh yeah, Expo 3 to 7. General
And then
session 1 to
Tuesday,
3.
Wednesday, uh expo will be open like 11 to 3 or something like that. I don't know the exact times. And then educational sessions Tuesday, Wednesday are from like 8 to 4.
Yeah, so I'll probably I'm gonna fly in on Sunday. You're gonna fly in Sunday or Saturday? You'll probably be there way ahead of time, no?
We'll see.
Yeah,
My
we'll
son's
probably.
birthday is on the 17th, so it's always
Oh, yeah, that's tough with the. That's tough. My son's birthday is in September. It was close to the last show.
yeah, we're celebrating it like the week before, but it's like he's only
Yeah.
2. If he's a little bit old, once he's a little bit older, if we go back to Orlando, I'll be like, okay, you can just come with me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Uh,
But then we'll be in Vegas for like 2 or 3 years in a row after that.
oh really?
Hmm
25, 26, 27?
I think it's at least 2 years, maybe 3, because during COVID we had like contracts with Mandalay Bay.
Oh, to be there.
It's like we have to use up that in a
Yeah,
certain
that
time.
was a
So
fun one. That was a good venue. I'm gonna stay at the Bay this time. At the Mandalay.
yeah. One time, I think one time, last time I was there, it was like 5 years ago. I stayed at Luxor, and you're like, oh, it's just next door. It's not that far. It's like you forget something in your room, it takes you like 45 minutes to go and come back.
Bro, what about the Luxor, huh? Give us your quick review on the Luxor.
It wasn't terrible. I didn't spend much time in my room. Like we're so busy during C&E that it's like you're there
Uh,
to.
that's where we stayed when we went to
What do you think of it? Did you not like it?
it was creeped out, bro.
I
I
was
got
not. Where
I
were
got
you on?
I
What
got
floor were you on?
we were like on the top floor, dude.
I was on the ground floor, so I think in my room's
Oh,
like
so you didn't ride the
recently
creepy
updated.
elevator. That's the whole thing. The elevator goes sideways.
Yeah,
The elevator's like shimmying its way up the pyramid. I'm like, bro, you feel that? He's like, what? I'm like, this thing's not going vertical. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like,
yeah.
dude, we're freaking going sideways right now. You can't feel. You're like on like roll. And then I get up to the, you're up on those tall balconies. It's just like down at the casino. I went like right on Google and I was googling the wrong things, about that place. So no, but it was good. It was a good room. But it was like it is like 20. It's like 20 minutes of walking to get, you know, and it's
It
hot. It's hot in Vegas.
it is hot.
So
Yeah, but you don't spend much time outside, so
hey
it's
guys,
fine.
sorry I'm late. Hey Bobby. Hey Sean. It's Matt Bass. It's a long
So
way
man,
from the Luxor to conference. It is. It really is. Oh shit. We were just talking about you, Matt. You're doing a session?
that's yeah.
Yeah, right. A session.
On what? I was it false alarms and false alarm prevention and something else.
What day and time is yours, Matt?
We have not done scheduling yet, so
Oh,
we don't
okay.
know what the time will be.
Oh, so we don't know. All right. So
Yeah.
we'll know that at
So
a
that'll be
later
the
date.
next. That's like the next thing. We usually get our schedule fairly locked down by end of January, February-ish, and then we start to let out all the presenters know.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'll share it. Put something out there and I'll share it. We'll let everybody know. We'll try to get some people. We'll try to get some more sprinkler fitters and sprinkler inspectors there, and not just
So
like company owners.
yeah, I'd love that. We're pushing to get more like facility managers and stuff. I mean, we have a lot of facility manager members of NFPA, but not a lot come to conference and expo.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, we got to
build
get them
them.
in there.
That's what the offerings for the natural disaster preparedness and recovery stuff is kind of like focus on facility managers. We're focusing on like Florida facility managers, so a lot of it's on like long-term healthcare facilities and things like that, like what they need to do to prepare.
You better pump that AC on if they're making me wear a sport coat. The AC in Florida is just untouchable.
Yeah, they got it dialed. It's usually pretty
They
cold
have
too.
the best air conditioning in the country, probably the world. I don't know. It is. It's just it is cold. That's something that Chad kept on saying too. It's freaking so cold, and every building is like 60. Oh, Florida. All right, so that's it. I think that was a quick 58 minutes,
Yeah.
55 minutes. Yeah, let's go. Thanks for joining us again,
Yeah.
and thanks for
I'd
what you
love to.
guys are doing. This is great.
Oh, yeah. And if you guys have like questions or like suggestions for content, anything, feel free to reach out. My email is smahoney at nfpa.org, or like find me on LinkedIn uh, or Instagram.
That's it. Answers everywhere. Shalev, we got a new commenter. Shalev, what up, Shalev? Thanks for joining us. Well, we're at the end here. Join us. So what do we got? Let's talk about what am I doing the next show? The 19th, right? Um, 19th. I'll be live from the garage. Arco sent us some tools, and I'm gonna go in the garage. I'm gonna take my setup down there with me. I got the setup that I travel with more or less, and we're gonna have Russell Bryant from Arco come on, and we'll talk about the Hole Master. And I'm gonna cut some holes in pipe, and we're gonna talk about it,
It's,
and I think it's gonna be fun. We'll start doing more videos from the garage, and if I have some kind of tool or product or something that we want to talk about or assemble, I don't really have the space to do it right here. I don't know if my wife would appreciate me drilling mechanical tees in here, so we'll take that down to the garage and it's gonna be something new we're gonna try out and we're excited for. I've been working on my workbench and whatnot. The only downfall is it's kind of cold up in the Great Northeast and there's no heat in the garage, so we're gonna see how that's gonna work. But
you got to get yourself a torpedo heater, man.
yeah, but is it gonna drown out my audio?
I don't.
So I might
You
have to
get a
heat the
small.
garage first. Heat the garage for like an hour and then kill the
Yeah,
heat right as we start the show. And just bundle up. I need an NFPA link zip up.
I
Like
wish I could
like
get.
that.
I wish we could get them
I
all.
know, I'm just kidding.
It was hard enough to get a couple of these.
Just
So,
all right, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us and showing us all around on it and teaching me.
yeah,
It
no,
means a
I love
lot.
coming on. Anything I can do to help you guys out. That's what we're here for.
Awesome. Same. That's likewise for the betterment of the industry and the spread of good knowledge.
Yeah.
And we appreciate everybody watching. That's it. Thanks for joining.